So this was something that I had talked about where Joe Rogan had Dave Rubin on his podcast. It was a pretty big shit fest, by the way, that podcast. It was pretty funny, though. I highlighted some of it, but basically, he defended Joe Rogan because there was this conspiracy theory about Anthony Bourdain that he was killed by Hillary's operatives or some shit. And, Joe Rogan was basically in the process of shitting on them. He was saying, all people are always looking for these conspiracy theories. Now here's one about Anthony Bourdain. And then Dave Rubin gives a suggestion of why that exists. And then basically what ensued was Joe Rogan went on a debunking spree of said conspiracy theory of Anthony Bourdain being killed by Hillary's operatives. Now, he said the fact that George Soros was not a Nazi collaborator. And here's what's going to happen. Alex Jones, here's the thing. You never ever want to get with Alex Jones if you want to, sort of go at him, never cross the globalist. Never side with the globalist or he's going to fucking go off.
Joe, I don't care about coming on your podcast. I don't need to come on your podcast. But my point is, though, I know you're as smart as I am or smarter. And I sit there and I watch what you do on your show where I'm wrong about Bourdain, but then you have your guys go, oh, look, we discovered the Clintons were after him and he was this and that. And then Alex, Alex is, he's just wrong about all this stuff. And he says Soros worked with the Nazis. Soros was captured by the Nazis. Hell, Joe, why not just say he cut Hitler's head off and fought him in a castle and Hitler was guarded by 5,000 werewolves and naked strippers in SS uniforms? I'm not stupid. I get to hear my son listen to his podcast almost every day. I hear it to the point of I don't want to watch it because I don't want to start saying stuff because I care about Joe. Joe's a good guy. He's done a lot of good work. He's really a libertarian patriot. But he's out there in Los Angeles with his family. And every time I see this stuff, he's misrepresenting what I've said and what I've done. He says, oh, I like Alex, but then he snipes me. Oh, I like you, Alex. Ugh. I like you. Alex is a good guy. Ugh. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong. He's like my other best buddy. Eddie Bravo. Eddie, you're a crazy dumbass. Boom, slam your head in the ground. Aren't you a nice little guy putting up with me saying that? Well, listen, I'm not stupid when I watch all that. I'm not dumb. I don't sit here and play Machiavellian games. I'm a straight shooter. I'm from Texas. So, that said, that's what I'm getting at here. Podcast, now you've had two that are bigger. That's great. Number one, it gets blocked from Apple iTunes, gets delisted, and gets blocked everywhere, but still was number one for a year. I already know I'm number one, Joe. I already get that. It isn't about being number one. It's about changing the world. And you have the power to do that. Because let me tell you something, Joe. They're going to release bioweapons soon to try to stop Trump in this movement. And no matter if you got a private jet or not, if you're going to try to join the system, you ought to be trying to move in with them. Because let me tell you something. You're not going to be safe and nobody's going to be safe. We better change this or we're all going to fall together. So I'd rather just be attacked straight up, Joe. Give it all to me. Come on. Then man, I really like Alex Jones. He's a really good guy. He's a little bit funny guy. You think I'm stupid? You cockroach. Anyways, as for Joe, I just want to get Joe's attention that whoever told him that and whoever told him that was a good thing to say is not a good person in my view. Or is that your decision, Joe? Because if it's your decision to defend George Soros, then there's going to be a whole new chapter to our relationship. Make your decision. It's not a threat. It's the way it is. You make your decision. You decide which side you're on. It's real simple. You should be defending internet free speech. You should be championing things. You could change history. You're a major leader. You do have the biggest podcast in the world. Your audience rivals mine. That's great. I hope it's 10 times bigger. But not if it's in the hands of the globalist. If you turn over to Palpatine and become Darth Vader, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm coming for you, buddy.
This is absolutely hilarious to watch, but there are a few things that I want to say. First of all, Joe Rogan being friends with and just sort of, very friendly and kind and stuff like that with Alex Jones is pretty shitty in my opinion, because this is no longer him. I'm okay with him having on right wingers as much as he wants on his podcast, as long as he checks them. I'm fine with that. That's fine. But when it comes to people who are so far gone that it's no longer just a matter of politics, but now you're talking about conspiracy theories again, I repeat, Alex Jones said that the Sandy Hook victims' parents, they are, they're lying, and that the children were they're crisis actors, as they're called, which is unbelievably disgusting and just unacceptable, period. It's unacceptable. It's disgusting. Even Ben Shapiro called out Alex Jones for that. It's a pretty almost universal thing to shit on him for. And if you saw the clip of him, harassing Bernie Sanders, basically what this random guy who comes out and just shits on Alex Jones says is he brings that up, and then Alex goes, "Oh, Hillary edited the tape." So we know that that's what he said. We know that's what he said. And Joe Rogan, I think, was asked about that, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, I disagree with that." You should not be treating someone like that with such, kindness, friendliness, all this other stuff. That dude is a disgusting, vile human being who should not be accepted like that onto your podcast. You're giving them a platform which he does not deserve, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, and here's the thing, too. They've sort of taken snipes at each other at different times or another. I think with Sargon of Akkad on, Alex Jones made a segment responding to that Joe Rogan podcast with Sargon of Akkad, saying that he was taking snipes at him. So there's, multiple different things that have been happening with them taking snipes at each other. But Alex Jones has delivered Joe Rogan an ultimatum. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen.